What if I told you that the secret to living a great life isn't about luck, talent, or even intelligence, but something we can all cultivate: discipline? Ryan Holiday, the master of Stoicism for the modern world, brings us an eye-opening exploration of this idea in his book Discipline is Destiny. Released as part of his The Stoic Virtues series, this book isn't just a manual for success, it's a blueprint for mastering self-control, achieving personal greatness, and finding meaning in a world filled with distractions. In Discipline is Destiny, Holiday argues that self-mastery is the ultimate superpower. He uses stories of historical figures, modern success stories, and the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophers to show how discipline not only shapes our habits, but also defines who we are. Hello friend, welcome to Knowledgeable Audiobook. Today, we'll explore how this book reframes discipline not as a burden, but as a virtue that leads to freedom. I'll also share some powerful lessons you can apply right away to your own life, whether you're pursuing a personal goal, building a career, or just looking to be a better version of yourself. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Self-discipline leads to greatness. Let's think about this for a moment. When we see the greatest performers in history, Serena Williams dominating tennis, Mozart composing symphonies at a young age, or even Steve Jobs changing the world with his vision, it's easy to assume their brilliance came naturally. But Ryan Holiday sets the record straight in this first chapter. He tells us that greatness isn't magic. It's discipline. Holiday kicks off by exposing what he calls the illusion of natural talent. He explains how society loves the idea of prodigies and innate genius. Why? Because it's a neat, comfortable story. If someone's talent is purely genetic, it makes us feel less bad about not reaching their level. After all, we weren't born with it, right? But Holiday argues this mindset is dangerous. It dismisses the long hours, discipline, and sacrifices these so-called naturals put in to succeed. Even Mozart, who's often cited as a born genius, spent years, yes, years, practicing relentlessly before composing his masterpieces. Ryan says that the real story behind greatness lies in consistency. It's about showing up day after day, practicing the fundamentals, and chipping away at weaknesses. The spotlight moments we admire are just the tip of the iceberg. In this chapter, Holiday stresses something profound. Discipline isn't glamorous. We don't often celebrate the quiet work done behind the scenes. The rehearsals, the early mornings, the sacrifices. Why? Because it's not exciting to watch. But here's the truth. The work done out of sight matters far more than the accolades or glory we see publicly. Think about it. When you work out, no one sees your sweat. When you write, no one feels the grind of writer's block except you. And yet, those unnoticed efforts define the outcome. Holiday reminds us that embracing this invisible labor is where discipline begins. It's not about applause, it's about self-respect and internal growth. Now let's talk about excuses. Have you ever told yourself, I'm not good at this because I don't have talent for it? Or, it's too late for me to start now? Ryan Holiday dismantles these mental blocks with sharp clarity. He reminds us, excellence is available to everyone, but it's earned through effort, not shortcuts or excuses. You don't need a perfect environment, boundless resources, or a golden opportunity to get started. What you do need is to take that first step and keep moving forward, no matter how small the progress. Holiday then brings in some fascinating examples of discipline in action. He doesn't focus on modern-day celebrities, but instead highlights historical figures who have mastered discipline despite immense challenges. One powerful example is Frederick Douglass. Born into slavery, Douglass taught himself to read and write, a task considered impossible given his circumstances. He didn't do it because it was easy. He did it because it was necessary to achieve his vision of freedom and equality. Another figure Holiday mentions is Florence Nightingale, the mother of modern nursing. Her discipline in tracking medical data and managing hygiene saved countless lives. Both of these people didn't just talk about change, they acted on it with precision and relentless effort. So, how can we apply this first chapter to our own lives? Holiday encourages us to begin with this thought. What kind of person do I want to be? He reminds us that our goals should guide our discipline, and that consistency, even if it feels tedious, is the secret to mastery. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing the right things regularly. For example, if you want to get in shape, commit to the process, not just the outcome. Build habits like eating healthy and exercising daily. If you're working on a creative goal, find small but meaningful ways to practice your craft every day. Discipline isn't just a skill, it's the foundation of greatness. In Chapter 1, Ryan Holiday teaches us to let go of the idea of natural talent and embrace the truth. Effort, persistence, and self-control are what make greatness possible. This chapter lays the groundwork for a journey into how discipline can change our lives. And honestly, it starts with a choice. Will you take that first step today? Chapter 2. Self-discipline gives you freedom. Imagine waking up every day feeling free, not weighed down by distractions, regrets, or wasted potential. That's what self-discipline offers. In Chapter 2 of Discipline is Destiny. Ryan Holiday reveals a profound yet often overlooked truth. Self-discipline is the key to true freedom. We often think of discipline as restrictive, something that holds us back or takes away the joys of life. But in reality, it's the opposite. As Ryan Holiday explains, discipline is what allows us to live on our terms. It helps us avoid falling into the traps of impulse, procrastination, or chaos. It gives us the power to choose, to stay consistent, and to achieve. The paradox of freedom through discipline. Let's unpack this idea. Holiday highlights an important paradox. We tend to think that freedom means doing whatever we want, whenever we want. But when we live like that, our actions are often ruled by short-term desires, binge-watching TV, scrolling endlessly on social media, or eating unhealthy food. These impulses might feel good in the moment, but they trap us over time. Think about it. How many times have you regretted a decision that was made on impulse? Maybe it was staying up too late, skipping your workout, or making a rash financial decision. Holiday explains that self-discipline frees you from these traps. When you practice discipline, you're not giving up freedom, you're taking control of your life. You're choosing delayed gratification over immediate pleasure because you know the reward is far greater in the long run. Discipline means living with purpose. But here's the thing, discipline isn't just about sacrifice. It's about living with purpose. Holiday uses examples of great leaders, athletes, and creators to make this point. He tells the story of Lou Gehrig, a legendary baseball player known for his consistency and relentless work ethic. Gehrig's discipline allowed him to achieve greatness not because he had natural talent, but because he worked harder and stayed committed when others didn't. His approach reminds us that discipline shapes our potential. It helps us build routines, habits, and systems that make the difficult things automatic. When we create systems for ourselves, whether that's sticking to a budget, following a morning routine, or dedicating time each day to our craft, we're setting ourselves free from chaos and indecision. Examples of self-discipline in action. One of the best parts of this chapter is how Holiday illustrates discipline with real-life examples. He writes about musicians like Ludwig van Beethoven, who adhered to strict daily routines that allowed him to unleash his creative genius. Despite dealing with personal challenges like losing his hearing, Beethoven stuck to his discipline. Why? Because it gave him the space to focus entirely on his art. Discipline is what allowed him and countless others to focus on what really mattered instead of wasting energy on distractions. Whether it's an Olympic athlete training for years or an entrepreneur building a business from scratch, the lesson is clear. Self-discipline is the foundation for any significant achievement. And it's this discipline that gives you the freedom to pursue your passions and live authentically. Daily decisions shape long-term freedom. Holiday doesn't just talk about grand achievements, he reminds us that discipline is built in the small, everyday decisions. Every choice you make is either bringing you closer to or further from freedom. For example, when you decide to exercise instead of sleeping in, or when you save money instead of splurging, you're investing in your future self. These daily acts of discipline compound over time. They help you build resilience and confidence in yourself. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. How to cultivate discipline in your life. Of course, knowing the value of discipline is one thing, but living it is another. Holiday offers some simple and practical ways to strengthen your self-discipline. First, set clear boundaries for yourself. Know your weaknesses and create guardrails to keep yourself on track. For example, if you struggle with social media distractions, set a timer or limit your app usage. Second, focus on consistency, not intensity. Small, sustainable actions, like writing a page a day or committing to 20 minutes of exercise, are more powerful than sporadic bursts of effort. And finally, remember that discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you resist an impulse or stick to your routine, you're training yourself to be more disciplined. Why discipline is destiny. Ryan Holiday closes this chapter with a powerful message. When you master self-discipline, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, the possibilities are endless. Discipline gives you the freedom to live life fully, to chase your goals, overcome challenges, and leave a meaningful legacy. So the next time you feel like discipline is holding you back, remember, it's actually the key to your freedom. Embrace it and watch how it transforms your life. Chapter 3. Control your body. Whether it's resisting unhealthy habits, building resilience, or aligning your actions with your goals, controlling your body is a cornerstone of success. And this chapter offers valuable insights on how to do just that. Let's break it down and uncover the powerful lessons from this chapter, starting with the central premise. Your body is the foundation for everything you do. The body is a vessel for virtue. Ryan Holiday opens by reminding us of something profound yet simple. Our bodies are the vessels for all virtues. The mind might generate thoughts, the heart might provide passion, but without a healthy body, none of these can be acted upon. He shares examples from history, like the Roman philosopher Epictetus, who said we should endure what the body is able to endure. This means building physical resilience so our bodies can serve us, not hinder us. But this isn't about extreme fitness or chasing vanity. It's about functional strength and control. In fact, the concept is deeply Stoic. As Marcus Aurelius said, you could be good today, but instead you choose tomorrow. So many of us procrastinate caring for our physical health until it's too late. Ryan urges us to take action now, whether that's through better sleep, smarter nutrition, or simply getting in tune with what our bodies truly need. The importance of moderation. Another key point in this chapter is moderation. Ryan emphasizes that discipline is not about deprivation, it's about balance. He critiques overindulgence, whether it's in food, alcohol, or even exercise, as a form of weakness rather than strength. There's a compelling quote where he says, "The disciplined person is not a slave to their cravings. Instead, they recognize the dangers of excess and learn to live within their limits, prioritizing their long-term goals over short-term impulses." This section feels particularly relevant in today's world, where temptation is everywhere, from junk food to binge-watching TV. But moderation doesn't mean avoidance. It means intentionality. For example, you can enjoy dessert, just don't let it control you. Ryan makes it clear, true freedom comes from saying no when it matters most. Build strong, consistent habits. Next, Ryan talks about the importance of habits in mastering your body. It's not about one dramatic act of discipline, it's about small, consistent actions every day. Holiday uses examples of disciplined individuals like athletes or soldiers. Their strength comes not from sheer willpower, but from routines they've honed over years. These habits, waking up at the same time, exercising regularly, eating nutritious foods, remove the need for constant decision-making. They automate discipline. Ryan argues that self-control isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. Every time you follow through with a positive habit, you strengthen the muscle of discipline. And every time you indulge a harmful behavior, you weaken it. Respect the limits of the body. But here's where things get interesting. Why this chapter is all about control. Ryan reminds us that discipline also involves understanding and respecting the limits of the body. In one striking section, he discusses how pushing too hard, whether in work or physical training, can lead to burnout and injury. Balance isn't just about avoiding overindulgence. It's also about ensuring you're not running yourself into the ground. Ryan calls this kindness to the self. Discipline doesn't mean ignoring your needs. It means managing them responsibly. It's about the long game, not short bursts of perfection followed by collapse. This perspective is a powerful reminder to care for your body like it's the most important tool you own, because it is. The rewards of discipline. Finally, Ryan talks about the incredible rewards of disciplining your body. When you control your physical self, you gain energy, focus, and clarity. You feel empowered because you're no longer at the mercy of fleeting cravings or distractions. There's a standout line where Ryan says, discipline begins with the body, but it transcends into the soul. This is the ultimate point. By mastering your physical self, you unlock the ability to thrive in all areas of life, mental, emotional, and even spiritual. So, that's chapter 3, Control Your Body. It's an empowering message about how discipline starts at the most fundamental level, with how we treat our own bodies. By respecting and mastering this foundation, we create a ripple effect of self-control and success in every area of life. Whether it's through building strong habits, practicing moderation, or knowing when to rest, this chapter gives us a roadmap to physical and emotional freedom. Chapter 4. Build your physical self-discipline to calm the mind. Ryan Holiday explores how building physical self-discipline isn't just about strength or fitness. It's about calming the mind, finding balance, and setting yourself up for success in every area of life. The connection between body and mind. Ryan starts by reminding us of an age-old truth. The body and mind are deeply connected. You can't expect to have a sharp, calm, and focused mind if your body is neglected. Discipline isn't just about sitting down to work or resisting distractions. It begins with how you treat yourself physically. He emphasizes that taking care of our bodies is not vanity or luxury. It's a foundational practice for self-mastery. Ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, often spoke about the need to stay physically strong not for appearance, but to build resilience and support a life of purpose. It's hard to think straight or remain calm if you are unfit, unhealthy, and undisciplined in the way you live. Embracing physical challenges. So how do we build this kind of physical self-discipline? Ryan points out that it starts by embracing physical challenges, no matter how uncomfortable they may seem. Exercise isn't just for your body, it's for your mind. By committing to physical activity, you train your brain to endure discomfort and persevere to skills that are critical in life. Holiday shares an essential point here. Physical challenges humble us. Whether it's waking up early to exercise or staying consistent with healthy habits, these moments teach us patience and show us our own limitations. And in those moments, we grow stronger, not just physically but mentally. Small habits lead to big results. Now, discipline doesn't mean you need to run a marathon tomorrow. Ryan encourages us to start small and stay consistent. Building physical self-discipline happens step by step, habit by habit. Whether that's drinking more water, going for a 20-minute walk, or cutting back on sugar, every small choice builds momentum. The little things we do daily add up to a lifetime of discipline. This means anyone can start right where they are. Consistency beats intensity. It's better to do 10 push-ups every day for a year than to go all out for a week and quit. Think about how these small, repeated habits ripple into other parts of your life. Taming your impulses through physical discipline. Here's where the Stoic mindset really comes in. Ryan explains that physical self-discipline isn't just about building strength, it's also about taming your impulses. He makes a fascinating connection between how we treat our bodies and how we handle cravings and distractions. When you skip your morning workout, for example, it becomes easier to skip other commitments later in the day. On the other hand, choosing discipline in one area spills over into others. It creates a domino effect. Ryan illustrates this with the story of legendary figures like Winston Churchill, who had a rigorous physical routine even during the pressures of war. Their discipline gave them the focus to handle mental strain. Rest and recovery are part of discipline. But here's the twist. Discipline isn't about pushing yourself until you break. Rest and recovery are equally essential. Ryan highlights that many of us underestimate how rest actually supports long-term discipline. When we skip sleep or ignore recovery, we sabotage our mental clarity and physical health. Resting isn't laziness. It's part of the discipline equation. Knowing when to stop, reset, and recharge makes you more effective in the long run. The ultimate goal, a calmer, clearer mind. So, what's the big payoff for physical self-discipline? Ryan makes it clear that the goal isn't about looking good or checking fitness goals off your list. The real reward is a calmer, clearer, and more focused mind. When you've mastered your physical habits, your mental clarity skyrockets. You have the energy to tackle life's challenges, the patience to deal with stress, and the calmness to make better decisions. Physical discipline creates the foundation for living a more intentional and focused life. Okay, so how do we bring these ideas into our own lives? Let me break down 3 practical takeaways from this chapter. 1. Start small and be consistent. You don't need a complicated fitness plan. Commit to one small habit you can do every day, like walking for 15 minutes or drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. 2. Make physical challenges non-negotiable. Schedule exercise or activity like an important meeting. Don't let excuses derail you. It's about showing up for yourself. 3. Prioritize rest and recovery. Build habits that promote rest, like setting a consistent bedtime or practicing mindfulness to recharge. Remember, rest fuels discipline. Discipline is more than just willpower. It's a muscle you build every day. And this starts with how you take care of your body. Chapter 5. Align your body, mind, and soul. Imagine a ship sailing smoothly across the ocean. What if the sails, rudder, and wheel worked against each other instead of in harmony? That's the kind of chaos Ryan Holiday talks about in Chapter 5 of Discipline is Destiny. How to align your body, mind, and soul to work together and steer you towards success. In this chapter, Holiday emphasizes a simple yet profound truth. Achieving balance between your physical health, mental clarity, and inner purpose is essential for living a disciplined life. The foundation, why alignment matters. Holiday begins with the concept that human beings are complex systems. We're not just our bodies, our minds, or our souls, we're the sum of all three. Neglecting one part can destabilize the whole system. Think of it like trying to drive a car with 3 flat tires. You won't get very far. He explains that each of these elements, body, mind, and soul, has its own role. The body is your vehicle, responsible for carrying you through the physical demands of life. The mind is the control center, guiding decisions and solving problems. The soul is the compass, keeping you grounded in your values and purpose. The challenge, Holiday says, is to make sure all three are working together and not in conflict. So how do you do it? By developing discipline in each area. Discipline for the body. Let's start with the body, the most tangible part of this equation. Holiday writes that the discipline to care for your body isn't optional, it's essential. Why? Because poor physical health drains energy and limits your ability to perform mentally and emotionally. He argues that simple habits make all the difference. Regular exercise, not just to look good, but to feel strong. Eating balanced meals, not for pleasure, but for fuel. Prioritizing sleep, which he calls the cornerstone of physical well-being. Without physical energy, even the strongest mind or soul will struggle. So, the next time you think skipping the gym or sacrificing sleep for a late-night binge is harmless, remember, neglecting your body is like letting rust grow on a tool you need every day. Discipline for the mind. Next, Holiday focuses on the mind. He argues that a disciplined mind is sharp, focused, and resilient. And it's not just about intelligence, it's about clarity and control. In today's world of constant noise, Holiday stresses the importance of creating boundaries for your mental space. This means limiting distractions like social media and mindless scrolling, building a habit of deep work, spending focused, uninterrupted time on your goals, consuming content mindfully, asking whether what you read, watch, or hear enriches your mind or clutters it. Here's a question for you. Is your mind serving you, or is it being hijacked by distractions? That's something Ryan Holiday challenges us to reflect on in this chapter. Discipline for the soul. And now, the soul, the most personal and often overlooked part. According to Holiday, aligning your soul means staying true to your values and sense of purpose. Without it, success feels hollow, and discipline loses its direction. He explains that a disciplined soul keeps you aligned with what truly matters, guiding your decisions when temptations or shortcuts come your way. For instance, making time for reflection through journaling or meditation, saying no to opportunities that don't align with your principles, even if they seem attractive, cultivating gratitude and humility to stay grounded in a fast-paced world. As Holiday puts it, the soul is like the North Star. It doesn't control the ship, but it ensures you're heading in the right direction. The outcome, living in harmony. So, what happens when your body, mind, and soul are aligned? Holiday paints a compelling picture of a person living in harmony. Not perfect, but purposeful and resilient. He suggests that this alignment brings clearer decision-making because your mind isn't clouded by poor health or internal conflicts. A sense of inner peace, knowing your actions are aligned with your values. Greater resilience, because you're operating from a place of strength rather than imbalance. Holiday also reminds us that this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Every day, you make small, disciplined choices that bring your body, mind, and soul into alignment. Over time, these choices compound into something extraordinary. When your body is energized, your mind is clear, and your soul is grounded, you unlock your full potential. So, take a moment today to reflect. How aligned are your body, mind, and soul? What's one small step you can take right now to bring them into balance? If this idea resonated with you, hit the like button and subscribe for more insights like this. And remember, discipline isn't a punishment, it's the path to freedom. And there you have it. A journey through Ryan Holiday's Discipline is Destiny. As we approach the end, let's take a moment to reflect on what this book teaches us about the power of discipline and how it can transform our lives. Ryan Holiday's conclusion ties everything together with one powerful idea: that discipline isn't just about saying no to distractions or sticking to a rigid schedule. It's about building a life you're proud of, a life defined by purpose, integrity, and the freedom that comes from self-control. The 3 key takeaways. So, let's break down the key lessons from the conclusion into 3 main takeaways. These aren't just theoretical ideas, they're principles you can live by every single day. 1. Discipline is the foundation of excellence. First, Ryan reminds us that discipline is what underpins all forms of excellence. Think about the legends we admire, from artists like Leonardo da Vinci to athletes like Serena Williams or leaders like Marcus Aurelius. Their greatness wasn't luck. It was built, brick by brick, through disciplined effort. Excellence requires consistency. It means showing up when it's hard, doing the work when no one's watching, and resisting the temptation to take the easy way out. Ryan highlights that discipline is what separates the dreamers from the doers. 2. True freedom comes from self-control. The second key point: discipline isn't a form of restriction, it's the ultimate form of freedom. Now, I know that might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. When you lack discipline, you're often a slave to your impulses. Whether it's procrastinating, overeating, or letting emotions control your actions, these habits chain you to short-term pleasures. But with self-control, you reclaim your freedom. You become the master of your time, your body, and your decisions. Ryan calls this the freedom of self-mastery. It's about breaking free from the chaos of the world and aligning your actions with your deepest values. When you live with discipline, you don't just survive, you thrive. 3. Discipline is a journey, not a destination. And finally, Ryan reminds us that discipline isn't a box to check off, it's a lifelong journey. You're going to stumble. You'll have setbacks. But what matters is getting back up and recommitting to the process. One of the most practical takeaways from the conclusion is the importance of regular self-assessment. Ryan suggests reflecting on your day, your habits, and your progress. Are you staying aligned with your values? Are you letting the small things derail you? This constant reflection is what keeps you disciplined in the long run. Because let's face it, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about getting better, a little at a time, every single day. How to apply discipline in your life. So, now that we've covered the principles, how do you put them into action? Here are some quick steps inspired by Discipline is Destiny. Step 1. Start small. Big change doesn't happen overnight. Start with one small habit, something manageable. Build momentum and expand from there. Step 2. Define your values. Discipline only works if you know what you're working towards. What matters to you? Write it down and let it guide your decisions. Step 3. Create systems. Don't rely on motivation, it's unreliable. Build systems and routines that make discipline automatic, whether it's meal prepping, scheduling workouts, or setting strict work hours. Step 4. Forgive yourself. Lastly, don't beat yourself up when you slip. The disciplined life isn't about never failing, it's about always trying again. In the end, Discipline is Destiny isn't just a book, it's a challenge. A challenge to show up every day, make the harder choice, and pursue your best self. As Ryan Holiday puts it, the disciplined person isn't afraid of hard work because they know the rewards are worth it. So I challenge you, what small change can you make today to live a more disciplined life? Remember, destiny isn't something that just happens. It's something you create one disciplined decision at a time. If you enjoyed this breakdown of discipline is destiny, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into life-changing books. Thanks for watching, and remember, discipline is the ultimate freedom.